Okay, we're back to the stirring of the fudge. What are we looking for now? Is it getting warm enough?
Yes, the sugar. Oh, and that's another thing. You asked before about why we have to keep stirring. Another thing is you have to wait till the sugar dissolves also, besides the chocolate. And I think that's another danger, that the sugar might burn.
Is there anything we should be looking for to know that it's dissolved?
Well, I think once it starts boiling, you know that. And by now the chocolate has been melted, and it looks like the surface is going to be soon breaking into bubbles.
Now you mean like bubbles, like boiling water bubbles?
Yes, it starts out in little ones here, there, in different parts, and then before you know it, the whole surface is bubbling, as you say, like boiling water.
Okay. About how many minutes have we been stirring?
Oh gosh, it must be, what, about 10 minutes?
About 10 minutes, so it takes a lot of dedication at the stove there.
Yes, that's true, it does. It is starting to boil, and very soon it will bubble up quite high in the pan, and that's when I generally turn down from number 4 to number 5 in my heat.
So we cut the heat down just a little when it starts boiling?
Yeah, because of the danger of it boiling over.
Okay.
And yet you want to keep a nice rolling boil.
All right. And we're coming to that point right now.
Yes, we definitely are coming there.
Could we call this one of the crucial points of the fudge making process?
Well, yes, not as crucial as some of the others.
All right.
The softball stage, for instance, which we will come to later.
Okay, the softball stage.
After it has cooked to the softball stage, then comes critical defining whether it is a softball or not. That's where a lot of us make our mistake. And
I see there's a candy thermometer there that looks...
Yes, as soon as it's come to a full boil, which it's very, very close right now, I will put the candy thermometer in, I'll turn down my control, and just let it cook away. I don't have to stir anymore. The recipe does say, unless necessary. Well, I've never found it really necessary, but once in a while I'll give it a stir.
So it's just a here and there type stirring thing.
Right, and just bringing it up to the temperature that you need, which is 234 degrees is the softball stage. And there also is a marking on your candy thermometer at the softball stage, hardball stage.
So we're going to be watching that thermometer pretty closely.
Yes, right.
To get to this 234 degrees.
Right. Now I think it's at a point where it's boiling quite rapidly. I think I can put my candy thermometer in.
Okay.
I'm not going to turn this down quite yet. I want it to be a more rolling boil before I actually turn it down.
And rolling means the bubbles are continuously coming up.
Yes, right.
Okay.
In fact, maybe do you want me to tip it slightly here? Well,
sure.
I don't know if you can.
So we can just see the slight boiling on the edges right now.
Yes, and it's soon it will come up to about that point, and that's when I'll turn down the heat. And then we just have to let it sit or boil away till we get to the softball stage.
Okay.
234 degrees.
So can you think of any special times when you made this fudge and it worked out well, or didn't work out well? Or?
Well, I made a batch for Jim for Christmas, and from his point of view, I thought it was a good batch. It seemed just the right firmness. It was creamy, it wasn't grainy, and he said that was one of the best batches he'd ever had. And then yesterday I made a batch. I don't quite know. I don't think I beat it long enough. These things are so important. And that's hard labor, is beating this heavy fudge.
So it's a lot of beating and a lot of getting everything at the right time in the right place.
Right. And so I suppose I got over anxious, got it in the pan before it was quite ready, and so it was rather soft, a little too soft.
But I imagine you wouldn't want to wait too long either.
Oh, that's true, otherwise it gets too firm.
So it's a matter of hitting it right down the
Yes,
middle.
and you just can't, I can't, I've made quite a number of batches of fudge in my day, and I can't hit the perfect batch every time.
Okay.
I try.
I see a little more bubbling going on.
Yes, I think by now I can turn down my temperature.
So when we get to that rolling boil, we turn it down another notch?
Yes, so that it doesn't boil over.
Okay.
And yet continues to boil quite, as I say, a rolling boil. And so we're just going to have to leave it there. This is our little dish. We're going to put cold water in a little later. And that is going to be our test for the softball stage.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to getting to that stage. My palate is hungry for this fudge.
Well, I certainly hope it's a